Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday night live stream. What's going on? And we're glad you're here. Kyle, do that thing you do.
Hello, all you beautiful people in the side chat, and look at this amazing panel. We're going to have a great time talking about hunting rounds and how we work it up. And Gene, tell us what's going on, man.
Man, I ain't got a clue. What you asking me for? Hey, thanks for having me on. Thanks, Kyle. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for having me on tonight. Like Kyle said, man, look at this illustrious panel I'm here associated with. Just makes me look all the much better. Being around these guys. Look at this. Jamie's beard, man, he rolled sideways, and I was like, whoa, that thing's huge. You only just see him from straight on, but he rolled around to the side in the back chat, and I was like, wow, that thing's getting big.
Yeah, sorry we're a little bit late tonight, but I couldn't get these guys to be quiet long enough for me to hit the go live button. So we're excited to be here tonight. Hey, Thor's Axe, what's going on, brother?
Hello, Dave.
Scotsman hopefully will be joining us later. Looks like he got his power on, so maybe he'll be in a few minutes. I think he needs to stabilize stuff before he starts firing computers and stuff up. CW, how's your week been, brother?
It's been a tough one. But you all don't want to hear about my troubles. I didn't have much time for doing much reloading or anything, but I did got a couple of things we can talk about as we go along. We've got a good topic for tonight. I hope it carries us. Hope we can get some input from the side chat. I hope you guys have got some stuff to add to this. It's getting near hunting season, so we got some stuff hunting wise, and I know Walter doesn't do much with rifles, so he won't have much to add. But Hillbilly's a hunter, so he'll have some stuff. What do you got? What do you got to add there, Walter?
Well, as you said, I'm not doing much hunting anymore. I did in days past, when I was a youth. When I was a youth.
A youth.
A youth. When the two youths were out hunting. Yeah, great video. In fact, as fate would have it, I was out back in my old hunting grounds just yesterday visiting a very good friend of mine who manages a ranch all by herself. She's got about 800 acres out there, and we'd had a lot of rain this summer, so she had not had an opportunity to get anybody to hike with her back up to see what had happened with the two creeks that come through her property and come to a confluence, and she wanted to go back up there and look for what was going on with those creeks, and they had completely blown out and blew her creek out and all kinds of other stuff. But as she mentioned, she has problems with bears. She's had bears in her house, in her kitchen. She lives alone at night, so she stays locked and loaded. But she's afraid that karma's going to come around and get her, so she won't even say the word bear anymore. So, Bonnie, if you're out there watching, she might be watching. She says, "Now we got to be watching for tracks of those big furry animals." She wouldn't say the word, and she has big furry animals of the feline type up there pretty regularly, also.
Really?
So, yep, yeah, she has them. They come and go, and so we pay attention. We don't hike back up in her territory without some kind of armament. So we weren't hunting for live animals. We were hunting for tracks, and we discovered a few flowers that she had not property, and she keeps meticulous notes of what's going on up there. So anyway, so I got not much to add for hunting, but maybe a little bit here and there. So how about let's go over to this guy next door here, to America's Hillbilly. And
hey, Walter, I kind of agree with six shooter out there. Bears are okay. It's Bigfoot you gotta watch out for up there. But oh man, that sounds exciting, Walter. That sounds like a lot of fun being able to do that.
Well, that woman can shoot. I've seen her take a ground squirrel at 100 yards with a 22, one shot, one kill. She's the Annie.
Right.
She's the Annie Oakley of the area. She's no slouch when it comes to pulling a trigger. So she ain't afeared.
Yep, that's awesome. Oh man, I myself I've had a wonderful week. It is hotter than a tater out there though. But been doing some gun stuff. So got one video shot, got an unboxing video coming up that I'm really, really excited about. And I just been enjoying life, trying to stay in the air conditioner as much as I possibly can, though. So, anyway, I appreciate y'all having me on here tonight. It's always fun, great side chat, great panel. I look forward to it every Friday night. And so, Gene, what are you up to, buddy?
Well, I kind of already did this. Jamie got a little.
Jamie
Got on me a little bit.
Kyle, what are you doing? I apologize, buddy.
So this is the thing. Tonight's going to be a little bit different. We still want to do our. We try to find a topic that's interest to guys that cast, and one for guys that don't cast but reload, and then for guys who don't do any either. And hopefully the ladies. What's going on, Lakeview? Good to see you out there, brother. You're on my prayer list, which brings me to what's going to be different. Tonight we're going to start a couple of new segments. One of them is going to be our verse of the week. We're going to feature a Bible verse every week, and we that will evolve into a prayer list that we'll post on the community page. And if you got prayer requests, you can put them in there in the side chat, and we'll try to. No, we won't try. We will be praying about that for this coming week. And I'll find something to write with and write them down, or else I'll forget them. But another thing we're going to start, Gene, you want to talk about that?
Got to turn your speaker on there, bud.
It's pulling a hillbilly. Since everybody knows I work at a reloading supply, and I sort brass. And one of my main gigs there is I sort rifle brass because I'm pretty efficient at it. But I get to run across different stuff all the time. So talk with Jamie about this. And each week, I have been bringing in something every week or so and showing what I find. Last week was the plastic cartridges. These here. 308. If someone out in side chat didn't see those, I showed these last week. These are hard victuals to find, man. But I run across this stuff. So we're going to start every week. I'm going to try to find something obscure, something maybe people haven't heard of, something new, something old, something borrowed, something shiny. So I got something for this week. This week, what I found is a 730 Waters. This is the cartridge, what the case looks like here. .730 Waters on the bottom there. In the 730 Waters, I got a piece here on it I'm going to read. Cartridge was originally a Wildcat cartridge developed by author Ken Waters in 1976 to give better performance to lever action rifle shooters than the present 30-30 by providing higher velocity and flatter trajectory with a smaller, lighter bullet. It does have a cup of 40,000 and a maximum pressure of 45,000. and its parent case is the 3030 Winchester. So if anybody's never seen that before, I had never seen one in person until I was sorting some brass and that popped out of there. So I just thought I'd share that with everybody.
Very good, Gene. Very good. And you guys out there gotta y'all gotta help us come up with a name for Gene's segment every week, so we can. Hey Ashley, I watched all your shorts today. That didn't sound good, did it?
As long as she wasn't in them, I guess it's not so bad.
Yeah, boy, you got to watch Jamie like a hawk, you guys. He just kind of gets a little wild.
He's a
I
wildcat.
suppose you want to name Gene's segment. Look what I dug out of the can. Dude.
Yeah.
There you go. There's a name for it.
Yeah.
How about here's some brass at you?
Yeah.
But it may not be brass, it may be plastic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it may be something just kind of funny along the shooting lines. I don't know. I'll definitely bring something in for every week, and I already have something for next week.
That's a good one, Gene. That's a neat caliber. I've had it for quite a few years. It was the second pistol caliber hunting caliber that I bought myself after the 358 or 357 JDJ, 357 Harriet rather, it's a quite efficient in the contender with a barrel, 14-inch barrel, and I picked up a contender carbine that my wife used for a bunch of years. It's a nice caliber. It's a good shooter. It's a easy hand loading caliber. It's easy on the shoulder, and as you said, it's got a pretty good trajectory increase over the 30-30.
I thought that was really neat. And
This
is a federal cartridge.
Yeah, Federal is the one that brought it out.
To me, it looked like that's a good one, Walter. Gene's jump. I was thinking something along the.
Yeah, you gotta spell junk with a G. Gene's junk.
Yeah, there you go.
Gene and Sons.
Gene's junk pile.
Y'all say hey to Ocean 374. He ain't been feeling real good, so good to see you out there, Ocean.
I hope
Hey,
you feel better,
hope you get feeling
Julio.
better, bud.
Hello, Julio. Yeah, I was texting with him this morning or yesterday.
Let me see if I can. Y'all talk amongst yourselves, and I'll try to find a link to Ashley's channel.
I just subscribed to her. I think maybe it might have been Wednesday night. She was posting over there with Chris's chat, and that was kind of the first I'd seen of her. So I went over and subbed her. She's got some good stuff there, guys.
It's really weird how all of us have formed this community and we converse with each other either by phone or text message and don't even think anything about it. You know, it's just like your buddy calling, even though he's all the way across the country. It just warms my heart that we all do that. And I'm sorry, Scotsman. Usually my phone's on the charger inside the house. I was just calling you to tell you a funny story. Wasn't nothing important, brother.
Yeah, you're 100% right about that, Kyle. It's nice to, have friends, no matter where they're at or where they're from. And, it's just an extended family, and it's awesome. It's a lot of fun.
I kind of like Ms. Hotshot's idea. She says call it reeling from the hot pot scrapyard. How about just the hot pot scrapyard, or the pot scrapyard, or the hot scrapyard? The hot scrapyard.
That'll work.
That sounds good.
That works.
All right, hot scrapyard. Just had to work it out there,
Yeah, that works. You see much of that brass, Gene, or is that the first piece you've seen?
I've seen it a few times, but this time I just decided to snag a piece of it. Most of the time, it goes in the scrap bin because there's not enough of it.
If you see enough of it, just make a pile and we'll get together.
If I see any more,
I make them out of 30/30s.
Yeah, but nice to just have it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's nice to have it with the head stamp that it's supposed to have.
Yeah.
CW, do you ever shoot anything normal?
What do you mean? That's funny, normal. It just made the Gene's hot corner. It's made the big time now.
Gene,
I want to say to Ashley that I believe that some of the guys were right. I think that thing she didn't know what was an old house jack. What's up, Mark Thomas?
Hello, how are you?
I like that video you put out today.
Howdy, Mark.
Hello. Sorry I'm a little bit late. Dinner ran a little over, but it'll be all right.
I see you're in the night chair.
Yeah.
You
during
talk
the summer,
about shooting some weird stuff. This guy got himself a weird pistola that he put up some video work on. He did make a nice holster for it, but that pistol is weird.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Yeah.
I've only watched 2 reviews. Kentucky Gun Company, the guy took one in his range and shot it, and Blaze TV, something like that. He shot one, but yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that thing to the range.
Oh Lord, we have a sighting.
We have a sighting. Who's going to count us down?
In 3,
count us down, Kyle.
2, 1.
Hey! Hiya, Mario.
Hey, buddy.
Good to see you, brother.
in the words of Mock, West Coast weirdo. Well, he's not here, so we got to honor Mark too.
No walks. My favorite cartridge is not the 9mm.
Yeah. Everybody
Nice
knows.
credit if you know what his favorite firearm to shoot it in is.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1911.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, funny stuff. Yeah. Good thing we're all friends.
We'll do the verse of the week at about the midway point, and we're already been on here 20 minutes, and we were 3 or 4 minutes late. So let's go through the side chat. Everybody type in. I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that. CW 270. Type in 270, and we will call your name out on the World Wide Web, or the interweb, as Mark Thomas calls it.
Mario said we're getting pretty good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. Dang.
Yeah, my internet dropped out. What were
Y'all
we
read
supposed to
that.
type?
Y'all read that while I call
Yeah,
out everybody's
Andy and
name.
I were chatting last night about that. That's something else.
All right, we got Walter. We got Andy79Z28, of course. Thanks for being here. We got 6-shooter Texan, Pat in a bunker, trees a blowing, Gizzard Gary. What's up, Gary? Ms. Hotshot, Harm, Rich White, Ocean 374, Edward Petty, Lakeview Outdoors, Gizzard Gary again, Walks Fletcher. I knew he'd like that. He's probably in here 3 times. 6-shooter Texan, Tim S., Mario Mosen, Dwayne 7834, Tactical Bud Duffer 426, Hillbilly Up, Rich B., Michael Dunn, Rich White, Paul Loud, Mark Thomas, Hipparchus, Fuzz T48, Andy 79Z28, James Pollard, Garage Guy, MC, M. Space C. Okay, 308 Michael Dunn, Tim S., James Pugh, reloading from the hot pot, and I think that's all. Thank all y'all for being chessboard. There's chessboard, and Thorzak's is out there, and the Scottish American. Floridian, what's going on, bud?
I'm here, but my internet dropped out right when you said what to type. So
MCK and Kyle Lusk. So Andy says the new law in New York is any semi-auto rifle now has to be put on pistol permit. So to get it back from the local gun store, I have to get a purchase document and put it on my pistol permit. There's trees a blowing too. I got a box from you, trees.
Yeah, I did too. I got a unboxing coming out tomorrow morning.
I was not expecting that. I
uh,
like that in a man.
Andy, it sounds to me like you need to leave that state.
That's that Hochul nut job that's running things there in the city or in New York State governor.
That is
He was
ridiculous.
telling me even the 1022 is included in that.
Oh boy.
There's how many 1022s there are,
Yeah, millions. How many
and
people
all
are
these
in this
people,
country?
like Andy didn't even realize. He sent his carbine out for repair, and the guy at the gun store told him. That's just,
Yeah.
you don't even know.
Yeah.
And
That,
she
that
just
mean,
doing these
that,
things underhand,
that's
and she's
ridiculous.
thumbing her nose at the Supreme Court, all their changes they made to their rulings and laws, and just absurd. Just there needs to be repercussions for these politicians that don't do what they're supposed to. I mean, every one of them takes a vow to uphold the Constitution. Every one of them, and there should be something out there to something out there that's enforced to make these people accountable for their actions.
But now on the other side of it, can you put a pistol length barrel on your rifle now since it's on your pistol card? Is there a gray area catch 22 here? I'd like to know.
Only
I got to
after
stop
you
and
pay
make a
the
quick comment here,
$200
guys.
tax stamp.
I got a quick shout out to do. Remember a few minutes ago when I was telling you about the Annie Oakley of the Cuyama Valley where I was yesterday, and the 100-yard shot, one shot, one kill.
Yes, sir.
That's Bonnie Galler. She just signed into the chat and said hello over there. So that's Bonnie over there in the side chat. She's my
Welcome,
good friend.
Bonnie.
We've been
Welcome, Bonnie.
friends for
Welcome aboard.
years.
Welcome.
So I told her about the chat, and she said, "I got to go see you on YouTube." So she's
There he is, right there in the center. We got him we got him all boxed in. He can't go anywhere.
yeah, Paul Lind.
So there's Steve's woodworking. What's going on, my brother?
Hello, Steve.
MC, I put your comment up there, and yeah, all gun laws are unconstitutional, buddy.
Yeah, agreed.
So it makes no sense for any guns to be censored or whatever.
Shall not be infringed.
Right.
Preach
And
on.
that's the stance we don't typically talk about politics here at all, because all week long everybody's been bombarded with the news and politics and such, so forth and so on. So um, we like for our Friday night live stream to be a place where we can relax and escape said such. But sometimes when they get too ridiculous about the gun laws, they have to be talked about. So, but our stance here and my stance as the host and I'm sure CW and Kyle's also is uh, one gun law is one too many. Uh, and I think that's the intent of the Second Amendment is for us to be able to defend ourselves against a tyrannical government. And that being said, to defend yourself against a tyrannical government, you've got to have the same thing at your disposal that they have at theirs. And
I'm still waiting on my F-15 to show up. It hadn't got here yet. But I did cast a bunch of 38 special bullets today.
So, Mark, that new toy of yours, what do you got plans for it? Just a range toy?
Yeah, mostly. Depending on how good of a pattern it holds. And, I've really resisted picking up any of that TSS stuff. But if that thing would hold a pattern at 15 or 20 yards with that good TSS shot, I would consider carrying that thing in turkey season. Just to add the challenge.
It probably won't. Does it have a screw-in choke?
No.
It
No,
probably won't, because the rifling is going to make it go wacky.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm figuring.
It's a 45 Colt with a long chamber. It's not a 410 that shoots 45s, and that's what most people kind of forget about or they don't think about. But it's a 45 Colt. Otherwise, it would have to have an 18-inch barrel, and if it was a smoothbore. So that's how they get away with it being short. But that rifling is gonna. They've tried. Gun makers have tried straight rifling, single rifling, all shallow rifling to make it. It just and then they get complaints about the 45s don't shoot good, and so it's like you can't have everything, So
Still kind of a fun thing, though.
Buck shot okay, and hopefully it should shoot slugs pretty well.
The manual, of course, says no plus P, and it says not to shoot slugs. I watched that guy from Kentucky Gun Company blast a half dozen of slugs through it.
Really, it said don't shoot slugs.
Yeah, one of my commenters dropped that in the comment section, and I said, well, I've always had a little bit of a problem with following directions well, so.
Why on earth did they say no slugs?
I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense. There's no choke. There's nothing there to worry about. And even then, choked, everybody freaks out about shooting slugs through, like full choke. But most all the slugs out there, at least the Foster style, are perfectly safe in full choke. They just may not shoot so well accurately, but they're perfectly safe. Yeah, they're perfectly safe. You just may not be accurate.
I've always used a modified choke and not had any.
Yeah, you're best with a modified or a cylinder or improved cylinder, for accuracy, but it's not dangerous to shoot them through a full. I mean, think about it. How could they make it if it was going to be dangerous? People would get hurt. The lawyers would never allow it. So it's not dangerous. It's just probably not your most accurate.
I'm thinking that 90% of that book was written by the lawyers. And
yeah,
just put that in there.
Like you said, no reloads. I mean, almost every manufacturer does that in their firearms. No reload. So
that's just CYA.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where we are in California with a firearm like that. I know for years California said, no, you can't put a 410 or any shotgun through anything less than 18 inches, no matter what the barrel looks like on the inside. So I don't think the rifling holds water here either. I know we can't have the Judge. We can't buy that revolver at all. So I don't know what would happen here, but I saw that and I go, man, that's just going to be a ton of fun to take it out and just blast away with two big cartridges. Great big old, metallic cartridge and a nice, little old 410 shotgun.
Well, I started tinkering with those 2 390 round balls last week, and I put them through that Mossberg. I'm going to have to load a couple more of those up and see what they do.
There you are.
Just for fun.
It'd be fun to shoot.
No reason not to.
All kinds of stuff with that thing.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised what you can shoot through a shotgun.
You can make up slugs with all different kinds of materials because of that bore you've got. The diameter you've got there. There's a caliber out there, a cartridge out there that they make on a long one, 450 Mongo, I think it's called, and basically it's a 410 full length. It's made for 45 410 cartridges, calibers, firearms. So
Yeah,
there's some stuff out there.
I was absolutely drawn to it because it was a 410, and it's icing on the cake that the 45 Colt's on there because I have nothing in my collection in 45 Colt. So it gives me a good reason to, get some things together and do a little bit of, tinkering and reloading. And I sold off my 357 single action. And,
You did?
Yep. Because I have so many other 357s now. If I had it, I would never go and buy a 45 Colt. Now it's out of the collection, and I have a good reason to go buy a 45 Colt.
Yeah.
Which is what I wanted to do.
Dang, Ron Wayne, that song's going to be in my mind the rest of the night, dude.
Hello, darling.
That's my middle sister's favorite song, so I listen to that. Okay, this is the thing. Let's get to our topic at hand for this evening. So, as it's hot, but the kids went to school and football training camp starting and all that stuff. So, cooler weather's coming and it won't be long. So, uh, what are we doing for hunting season? Are you working up a load? Do you use one firearm? All that stuff. Do you have loads worked up? Are you satisfied with what you're going with, or uh, if you don't reload, what ammo are you going to be using? That kind of stuff. So, go ahead, Mark Thomas.
Well, I've been carrying that single shot 308 for quite a few years now, and I really do love it. It's my go-to, and mostly factory loads. I've had some good luck here with the reloads, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to use those in hunting season yet. But that 308 might get left home a couple of times this year because with that new to me 35 Remington, I'm really going to be hard pressed not to take that thing out. I'd love to take that out and take a deer with it. So those are going to be my two, top picks. And I've still got a couple of things there in the safe that I like to take out and walk around just for old time's sake. I'll take Grandpa's 300 Savage out and at least walk with that once or twice. It'll be with factory loads, but that's something I know if I needed to, I would definitely be able to drop something with it. But I don't know. The choice of what to take is going to be harder to do than to find something to take.
I know, man. And the more, see, I can't count the number of deer I killed with my 35 Remington. I just lost count over the years. So, walks is that's an interesting concept for Steve's Woodworking and Homestead, Rock Island Armory 10 millimeter. We got a member on the panel that's got one of those that he's just dying to.
Yeah. That guy.
That guy. Too bad he can't show it.
Yeah, I can't show it, but I'll be shooting it this weekend in USPSA.
With two videos out of it today.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can do though. I can hang it on the wall here. I'll be back.
Yeah, you can. Walks was going after coyotes in the backyard.
Yeah.
6-shooter Texan, Remington 700, 270 Winchester, Remington XP 100 7 millimeter bench rest. Is that what BR means?
Yeah.
And a 308 air rifle. Good to see Jason Stewart out there. What's going on, buddy?
He had a couple videos this week.
I saw one of them.
Yeah.
It was so cool what he does at work.
Yep, that was pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, Jason.
Good to
I'll
see.
get over there and
Good
watch
to
it.
see stuff out of him.
Yeah. Bama Dad's here.
Poor Bambi. Come on.
I know the
Marty.
feeling, Tony. I know the feeling. I missed last season. Don't know what this season's going to bring.
Ooh.
There you go.
Ooh. Look at that beauty. Look at all that
Sweet.
ammo.
Yes, sir. 10-millimeter goodness.
It's a lot of freedom you got hanging on your wall, buddy.
You
Yes,
know, I figured if I was gonna start shooting major, I might as well go 10-millimeter.
What's that 000 yard club?
That's a 1,000 yard.
Oh,
club,
okay.
baby.
I just want to make sure. I'm joking with you. I knew what it was. Your one was covered up.
I have had the privilege of shooting 1,000 yards with Jamie's rifle. So next time we go down, I'm bringing my own rifle, and then we can all take turns shooting my rifle.
My go-to is 35 Remington because, let's face it, where I live and where I would hunt, you're not going to go more than about 120 yards because you just can't see that far. My second is a 30-06, and I hand load for both of them.
That's kind of the same picture in our territory out here where I am. The hunting venue is brushy, chaparral, high hills, mountainous and valleys, mountains like this and river canyons down below. You shoot one, if it bails off over the side, you've got some real work to do. And it's just relatively short range shots, unless you're up to a 1,000-yard shot with a nice scope, 0.6 or 308 or something across a canyon. And those are tough. And even then, now you got to go get it, downhill, uphill, back downhill, back uphill in July, then 95-degree weather with ticks and fleas crawling down your back and the blood dripping. Yeah, no, not me anymore. That's 30-30 country at 100 yards or less where I am.
Y'all brace yourselves.
Uh-oh. 30 super carry, yeah.
Yeah, Tommy boy, I'm physically able, no problem. I could shoot after the surgery. What's going to keep me from getting back out is taking care of my wife.
I mean, if I was going to go Bigfoot hunting, I think I'd have to just use a lever action 45-7.
Was that for a Bigfoot or a Neat's foot? I got some of that Neat's foot oil.
The
There's a
problem
little
with
creepy.
Bigfoot hunting is you got to drag it out of the woods.
Yeah.
They're heavy.
No, man, I'm calling DNR and I ain't pulling nothing out. They can deal with it. There's Bama Dad. What's going on, buddy?
But yeah, I love my 308, but I use that for a target rifle. My 30-06 with 168 grain hollow points. That's devastating. And 35 Remington with cast bullets is beautiful. That's all I really need. I've got plenty of other rifles and all that stuff. Hell, I can hunt deer with pistols here in Georgia. Uh, I just don't choose to do it. I want to make sure that if I do get a good shot, that it takes care of the issue at hand. I don't want to wound an animal and make it suffer. That's not what I'm here to do. So I bring, if I could hunt with a tank, that would work. I just don't want to wound the animal because that's inhumane.
You betcha.
Agreed. Yep.
So
So I
Ron White's
think-
going to be using 3040 Craig. And Rich
think
White
we-
says Hillbilly needs a 30 Super Carry for those hard seltz.
yeah.
Yeah.
But my question is, so if you do like bag a Bigfoot, I assume you just quarter it up like you do an elk, right? Just salt the meat out.
Well, if it's as big as they say, you're not going to carry it. You're not going to drag it.
Yeah.
You got to
right,
smoke them a
Michael.
long time. That meat takes about 4, maybe 5 weeks to smoke out correctly.
Well, you got to make beef jerky out of it. Jack Link's
Yeah, there
beef
you go.
jerky.
Yeah.
So, Hillbilly, what's your caliber and what's your load for this year?
Oh man. So I mean hunting's just that's just right down my alley right there. So this year I will be using like 35 Remington. I have that lever action, I have used that many times over the years. 30-30. I'll probably be packing one of those, on a sling. And this year, if I get the opportunity, I am going to be wearing my High Point 10 millimeter.
Here you go.
And nothing would make me prouder than to be able to take a deer, at short range, with that. So, but I think there's a couple spots. It's like a lot of you guys say when, like Kyle said, 150 yards. Man, 150 yards. We're lucky to see 150 yards around here, without trees and stuff in the way. But there is a few places I'll go, and I'd like to take my 300 blackout and try it too. But that's just talking deer hunting. There, guys, there's so much coming up this spring. I mean, you got turkey hunting coming up, you got bow. It's a great time of the year. So
CW, would you like to answer 3 Jeep Discovery's question down there when you get a chance? That's actually a pretty good question.
It's going to depend on your load. Just saying a 200 grain, the answer it would be yes, but it's going to depend on your load. 44 mag is a really good short range, medium range deer caliber. The stuff that we're talking about here on the board, like Hillbilly just said, 150 yards, and Kyle just said 150 yards. Absolutely, it's a really good caliber for that. And a load that shoots accurate in your gun with a 200 grain bullet that's going to perform well would be just fine. 240 is what's popular because that's what it's like a 158 and a 357. It's just what made the round popular. But there's certainly other weights that work just fine. 180s, a lot of guys like 180s. They're zipping right along really fast, and you can get, you can pick them apart and complain about some of the aspects of really light bullets going real fast. But generally, that's for more velocity than you're going to get out of the 44 Magnums.
Thank you, sir.
I think
Can I?
I need to address some things quickly, and I'll let y'all get back at it. Um, Six shooter Texan says he used 180 and 44. Uh, a ways back, Ashley commented, "Kill an animal quickly." That's our main goal. When I hunt, if there's a question if I'm going to be able to hit and take down the animal quickly without him suffering too much or losing it or losing the animal, I ain't taking that shot. I'm going to be as sure as I can that the shot's going to be lethal and ethical, or I won't. I'll let it walk. So
100%.
that's the main point of hunting. And obviously, six shooter Texans using 180 grain. What's more important than a lot of stuff? You've got to have the velocity to make that bullet. What CW's talking about, the load. You've got it's got to be a strong enough load to make that bullet obturate and grab that rifling and be accurate enough to hit the part of the body that you're aiming at. And you hear people talk about shot placement as everything, and there's a good reason for that because it is. But we're out to make ethical shots. And Steve's Woodworking says 44 mag is devastating on deer, no matter what weight. So
Yeah. Um, you mind if I say something too, Jamie? I totally agree with you, and I think most all hunters feel the same way. Um, and like me personally, I mean, this is just me. If you've ever raised animals, I don't care if it's goats, cows, whatever, um, you will see the difference between the death of a male and a female when it comes to reproducing. There's no doubt about it. So like myself personally, like we have plenty of deer here, but it's not where we or just have so much deer that a lot of does need to be killed. We have the option of bucks and does, pretty much at hand here without any trouble. But me personally, um, I won't take a doe unless it was just something where I needed to put meat on the table. But I would way rather skip that. And I'm not saying because I the trophy buck, because I know what that doe, if she stays alive, what that'll return to the woods rather than a male, a buck will. So, I just wanted to say something about that.
my state is trying to get us to kill more does. We can take 10 does and two bucks, but one of
10
the
doe.
bucks,
Oh
10
my
does.
goodness. So you
Wow,
guys are
that's
pretty
huge.
overpopulated.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
there's reasonings for that, and your conservation, they keep track of that, and
They're
so
rarely wrong. Uh,
Well, it took them 10 years to figure it out.
uh,
I mean, you can drive around and you see does everywhere, and then you'll see one or two bucks, button heads, four pointers, you know, uh, whatever, and everybody's trying to chase that monster buck. Let me tell you, those taste the same.
no, the does taste better. I'm here to tell you.
yeah,
Hobbies Hobo says accuracy in hunting is number one. Velocity has a large range that will be effective if an accurate shot is made. I listened to Jim over on the Reloading podcast, and he says it better than I've ever could have come up with it myself. He says that you can't miss them fast enough to kill them. Think about it.
Dang, that is a good statement.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing, Tommy boy. We have so many does around here. Um, you can't rattle in a buck. I mean, if
Oh, really? Yeah.
yeah, if there's a buck chasing a doe, and another buck bigger than that buck comes up, well, he goes around the edge of the woods, and there's another buck right. There's another doe right there.
Yeah. Dude,
Oh
any of you
wow!
guys bird hunt?
I used to, but there ain't no birds around here no more.
Yeah, I did when I lived out in the country. I hunted a lot of quail, and we had some chucker up there, mountain quail. They were up high in the hills, and took a lot of work to go find them. I don't think I ever killed more than 10 of those in my entire life. But
Oh, yeah.
quail were plentiful. Yeah,
Yeah, that's another thing. Like quail, when we hunt a field or a farm or something, we make sure we leave plenty, for reproducing too. Um, but yeah, we quail and turkey. I mean, turkey. Wild turkey's a big deal here. Some pretty nice gobblers around. So
50 years
We
ago, we didn't have that much in the way of turkeys out my way, out there where Bonnie lived. It's only been in the last maybe 30 years that they've started to move in,
really,
and become populated. Yeah, they just weren't around. It wasn't something you thought much about. You didn't find a pheasant except at the uh, private hunting clubs that raised them and turned them loose. Um, but it was quail were a big thing, and back then, I was in my 20s, and I've told you that guys before that hunting was a big part of what happened on my dinner table. And so I had everything from jackrabbits to deer and a lot of quail. And I had a dog back then that was just, I mean, it was a dog. That old gal, she brought me back more quail than I could shoot, usually, from the flatlanders who'd come up. And we'd go up early in the morning and walk up the canyon and wait for the flatlanders to drive the birds right up to us. They'd shoot them and couldn't find them because they didn't have a good dog. So old Edie, she'd, I'd shoot 7 and she'd bring home the other 3. I don't know where they came from. But yeah, the quail were a thing, and they still are out in that area. And that's where Bonnie lives, out that way, and she's got turkeys on her property now too, and where they weren't back in the day before she owned that ranch. So it's kind of
nice.
interesting. Yeah.
When I was a teenager and even up through college, you couldn't find a turkey around here in Pennsylvania, but they restocked them and got things back up. The numbers are real good. We've got grouse if you can find them. There used to be plentiful, but they're harder to find. But boy, they're hard to hit when you do find them. They zig and zag like Maverick.
Yeah.
But for pheasant, they stock them, and when you buy your Pennsylvania license, if you want to hunt for pheasants, you got to actually have an extra little tag on your license for pheasant.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Turkey
Well,
are
up
such
there
an
in
interesting
Northeast, up,
bird.
up there in Northeast, that's where the Pilgrims come over, so they took care of a lot of the turkey, years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
But,
you need a lot of gravy with a wild turkey. That's all I'm
Oh
saying.
yeah.
yeah.
Or ice.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
When I was a kid, the wildlife hadn't recovered from the depression yet, and that was in the '70s. When I was a teenager, we just didn't have any. Deer were very rare, and they brought in some, and they closed the season for about 10 or 15, 20 years. And man, now they're just all over the place, and you can't hardly drive down the road without running over some. Uh,
Yeah, them turkey are really nice. I mean, we don't like where I live. We don't really have very many pheasant. I know Michael Dunn said that he'd like to go pheasant hunting. If you ain't been pheasant hunting, I mean, go. It is so much fun. We either go to the northern part of Missouri or to Kansas when we go pheasant hunting. Yeah,
I've heard the pheasant hunting in South Dakota is really good.
yeah, South Dakota. Yeah,
A
Got
lot
to
of
hunt
good
out in
plains
Iowa
country,
years ago.
grassland up there. Yeah.
yeah. It's just it is a lot of fun. I mean, it honestly is.
The most dangerous weapon in North Georgia for deer hunting is a Ford F-150, traveling at about 68 miles an hour.
Yeah, yeah. Who needs 1,800 feet per second when you can nail one going 55 miles an hour? Right?
Good night, Ocean.
Good night, Julio. We
Good night,
appreciate you,
Julio,
buddy.
man.
Hope
Glad
you're
to see you,
feeling
man.
better.
Absolutely. Moo's here.
So,
Edward Petty says he likes his wild turkey in a bottle.
yeah, I know a lot of
Yeah.
folks like that. He did, didn't he, Daniel?
Scared the hell out of everybody in the freezer section.
Yeah.
Ms. Hotshot, that's kind of a good point, actually. He says that wild turkeys are now more healthy for you because they eat all the wild plants and no GMO.
They actually eat worms and bugs and uh, scratch out roots and stuff like that.
Right.
So you're basically eating a field salad.
Uh,
So it's vegan.
Yeah.
let's
Yes.
put it this
Oh,
way:
yeah, there you go.
the best steaks I ever ate were grass-fed beef.
Agreed.
Yes.
Now, when I've
They,
managed to harvest a wild turkey, the best luck I've had with them is to pretty much just take out the breast meat, and if there's enough of the legs, take the legs, the thighs, put them in a gallon Ziploc bag with about a quart of buttermilk, and let them sit overnight, if possible, at maybe a day or two. Take them out, just kind of wipe them off with a paper towel, wrap them in bacon, and then put them on the grill. And that's been the best way to do wild turkey that I've had so far.
You betcha.
Good
And
Lord,
spit,
you're
and
making
spit
me
the
hungry.
buckshot out.
And if the turkey isn't any good, just wrap more bacon around it and eat the bacon.
Eat bacon. Yeah, turkey flavored bacon's pretty good.
Yeah, turkey bacon's no
One
damn good, but
Well, you're right. Turkey flavored pig bacon's better.
one thing that people might not know that like for deer or a lot of that stuff, if you think the meat tastes wild or whatever, when you say wild flavor, it's a different flavor. You can always soak it in meat or soak the
Soak it
meat
in
in
meat, yeah.
milk in the refrigerator, and that will change it a lot.
Yeah.
So if you might try that if it's something that you don't like, the wild flavor.
I've done that with some fish, not what we normally think of fish, but out here off our coast, there were a couple of sharks that we'd spear. Not the great
Yeah.
big ones, but some of the sand sharks and angel sharks, and they could be a little bit strong. And we'd do the same thing: soak them in buttermilk, and then
Mhm.
grill them.
Betcha.
yeah,
When I was younger, I was very fortunate, and I gathered a whole lot of deer. I think it was like 6 that year, and I had deer meat just run out my ears. And what I would do is thinly slice it, soak it in buttermilk, and Allegro Game Tame. It would take the gaminess right out of it, and then I'd throw it on the dehydrator, and we'd have 5 gallon buckets full of jerky. I mean, no, I mean there's all kinds of ways to cook anything. You just got to find what you like. But there's nothing wrong with eating wild game.
So I got that comment. Yeah. Let me just instead of typing this out, and we got to get to our verse of the week, or should we maybe wait till the end to do that?
Now let's do it. Let's do that midstream. I like that idea, James.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me address this. Steve says salt water works too to tame the flavor. The best steak I've ever had in my life was in East Texas at a restaurant called Saltgrass, and the idea there is to let the cows and the beef graze on salty grass right close to the Gulf. So the wind is blowing the salt water in on the grass, and man, it makes for a great steak. Two live moo, you could soak it in diesel fuel,
Well,
and it
I,
won't.
I
Keep you
think he's
breathing it anyway.
talking to me. I said that I might try soaking a hard seltzer in buttermilk overnight, see if it tastes any better. And he said
That's
diesel
not even
fuel
fun
wouldn't
to
even help
say,
that.
hillbilly. Come on.
Okay, let me get back over here, and we'll hide this, and we'll do this. This is our first verse of the week, and we'll open up for comments. Let me get over here and I'll read it to you. James 5:16. Confess your faults to one another and pray for one another that you may be healed. The effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. So when you confess your sins to each other and you pray for each other, you will be healed because the effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man is powerful.
Absolutely. And I think the key part of that, well, we've got plenty of folks around us that need our prayers, but a big piece of that for me, and I'm familiar with this verse, is that it's not just the other person for whom you are praying, is to let the Lord know that you in fact care for everybody else, and in that way you yourself are going to be healed as well. So I guess we're saying this is a two-way street. It's not just, hey, I'm going to be a good guy and pray for the hillbilly, even though he does need it. It's for me too, that you're bringing yourself out, you're putting yourself out there in front of the Lord and saying, I want to help these guys, but in doing so, I understand that I'm going to be helped as well. So, what are the
Amen.
rest of you guys thinking?
Amen.
I think you're nailing that right on the head. But the part that sticks out to me is in the second sentence of the verse where it says the effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much.
Yeah. And I think, in other words, then that prayer extends beyond the limit of who you were praying for and yourself. It says it affects much, you know.
Yeah, but who is a righteous man? Uh, Not me.
None
And
of it.
I think the
Not
Lord
yet.
knows. I think the Lord knows that. Uh, but I also think that what He's more uh, what He's more concerned with than us being perfect, like His Son was, is we are attempting every day to become more righteous
Yeah.
and
Well said. More righteous.
more righteous today than I was yesterday. Like my
Huge.
sister puts it, I ain't where I ought to be and I ain't where I want to be, but praise God, I ain't where I used to be.
Yeah. That's a big point, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think, we all have, an end goal in mind, and maybe we'll get there, and maybe we won't, but it's, we used to say when we were riding motorcycles, it wasn't about the destination, it's about the journey. And you may never make the destination exactly, but if you're striving to work towards it, that's a big important piece. And it's like this guy right here says in every one of his videos. He says, hey, go out and make somebody's day better, will you? That's a piece of that, and I always appreciate that, Hillbilly. I think that's a good point, and that sort of ties in with what we're saying here.
I
Yeah.
I'm gonna chime in here. I think one of the building blocks to be a righteous man is what you do when no one is looking. Will you be
Right.
right? Will you be right when no one is looking? Will you do the right thing when there's no one to glamorize it for you, to pat you on the back? Will you still do the right thing and just know that you did the right thing?
See, this is best way to put that I've ever heard, Gene, or the best way I've ever heard it put is the true test of a man's character is what he would do if he was absolutely positively sure that he would not get caught. And I think that's uh, another thing I've heard said is absolutely, Ashley, once you do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Uh, how do you treat people who you know can do absolutely nothing for you? It's one thing for us to suck up to the rich and powerful, but how you treat that guy on the street that's holding that cardboard sign and needs food for his family. My contention is there. How do you know he really needs food for his family and he don't need food for drugs or alcohol? And you know what? That's between him and God. That's not my problem. My thing is I'm supposed to help everybody I can. Okay, that's enough. I'm
Well,
absolutely Ashley.
to what Jamie was saying, that's when you invite them into your vehicle and take them to the grocery store. And what do you need? You
That
know
won't
what
Before
you
you
work,
need.
go,
Kyle, if you're driving a panel van.
Do what?
I'm joking. I said that won't work if you're driving a panel van with no windows. I don't think they'll get in.
Well, as long as it
M1.
says
But
free
I'm joking
candy
with
on
you,
the side of
baby.
it.
Yeah,
Okay,
Hillbilly,
but
not
yes,
all
you're
of us
right.
own a Chevy Astrovan, okay?
I mean,
M
think about it. If
Yes,
you see
you're right.
somebody or you know somebody that really needs help, $20 can mean a lot.
Oh yeah.
And let's face it, $20 ain't gonna hurt most of us, you know, but it'll mean the
excuse
world.
me for butting in. Let me say something to M1A2. If you're still out there, buddy, uh, let me say this about your earlier comment. uh, Uncle Jim too is always welcome in here. He's welcome to watch. He's welcome to. Uh, he can come on here anytime he wants to. But I hope to make. And I'm not going to preach as much as I did tonight. I'm sorry about that, but I get filled with it, and sometimes I can't shut up. But I love Uncle Jim, and I want the best for him. And that being said, he's welcome, and I hope you're still out there to hear that. Probably not. I'm sorry, Kyle. Go ahead with your thoughts, bro.
No, I'm just saying that if if you know that somebody's down and out, $20 can mean the world to them and their family. You know, have some canned goods. Here's a steak. Whatever. But a lot of times they're just sitting out there collecting money. They ride off. They dress up back in their damn suit and tie and ride off in their Mercedes Benz. But if you can tell somebody's down on their luck, offer to take them to the grocery store. Don't give them money. Take them to the grocery store. You saying you need food? Let's go get you some food. You give them $20, you don't know where that $20 is going.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's a whole lot easier to just open your wallet and throw $20 out the window than it is to.
No, by all means, my power door locks work. Get in. Let's go. And if they decline that, then all they're looking for is money.
Can I say something, Jamie?
Absolutely, bro.
It's about this verse, and this is just I just want to say something about this, and you guys, whoever can do their own, checking out or beliefs on this, but the way this starts out, confess your sins, uh, confess your faults to another. To me, like there's this is a word of God. There in the Greek there is the rhema word, which is the spoken word, and the logos, which is the written word. And I think a lot of times there's power in the speech in the rhema of that word when it's put to that side of it. And so it's hard. I believe like this is confess your faults to one another. So you're speaking those out. And I believe there's a lot of power by the spoken word also. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I wanted to say about that.
Amen, brother. I mean, there's good and bad people all across this planet. I don't care what country you're in, what country you came from. There's people that are out there that only feel for themselves. That's all they care about. It's the ones of us who will actually help others that makes this world a better place.
That's awesome.
Amen, Idaho. And I need to go back up here and find Ashley's comment.
That's what I'm saying. Let's go get a case of water, some canned veggies, and stuff like that, and that'll keep you going for a little bit. But I ain't gonna give you $20 so you can go to the liquor store. Yeah, that might be the easy thing to do, but I ain't doing it.
Right. That's the easy thing to do.
On the other side of that, Kyle, everybody has their demons, and sometimes those demons take over them,
Oh,
and those demons are very hard to get off of your back.
if you
Um,
think that I do
so
not understand that,
I, I
then
have I have
you don't
handed
know me.
I do I do um, I've handed people money with homeless signs that I could tell were tweaking out and were hurting, and I've given them money and pulled away, and I know what they're going to do with it, but we all have our demons. Uh,
Yep,
you
and
know,
and that's for sure.
Good night, Andy.
Good night, Andy. Thanks for being here, buddy.
If
I
So,
hate,
anybody,
and I
if
hate to admit
anybody anywhere says they don't have demons, they're a liar.
I I don't like admitting I've done that, but I have done it and pulled away, and already I knew what they were doing with it. It's I didn't want to be a contributing factor, but I also didn't want to see somebody in that kind of situation either. So it's catch 22 for me on that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. So
Yeah,
I just choose to be damned and be done with it.
yeah, that was my decision.
that's right, Mark.
I didn't read that. I don't have my glasses on. I couldn't get there that quick. Well,
So, we hadn't heard from CW or Mark Thomas about the verse. Do y'all want to say anything about the verse?
I think it's a good choice. I think it's very appropriate, especially for our first. And it, like most verses, their definition is within you, meaning it's going to be different to different people, depending on where they're coming from.
Absolutely. That's why it's a living and breathing document.
Hmm.
Every time you read it, he sends you something else. Mark?
I'm going to refrain from comment only because I had to step away just before you did it. My wife just got home from work and I had to get down and make sure she had uh, stuff that was there for dinner and get things squared away. And by the time I got up here, you guys were into the conversation, so I kind of missed that moment. But
It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen, but we don't want to put you on the spot either. So
appreciate that.
let's move on. Let's move on back to our topic. So I have a load worked up for my 35 Remington. I'm still working on one for 270 and 350 Legend, but right now I'm working on this 308 stuff for my buddy who uh, I think his problem is not his ammo. I think his problem is the scope and the way it's sighted in and the way he has to reach. But well, Bubba, are you going to expand on that, or are you just going to make us go look it up? Copy and paste it in a comment, brother. I'll pop it up there. Psalms 144, 1 and 2. So,
I'm glad everybody in the side chat likes the Bible verse of the week. I think we've just added a new chapter to the Georgia shooting connection.
well, I was afraid that when we started the verse of the week that everybody would leave, but we've actually picked up a couple of viewers.
That's what I was just looking at.
I'm excited about that, and I personally will hunt with two rifles, either the 35 or the 350 in brush in tight quarters, or when I'm hunting stands with a long reach, I'll take my Seiko 270.
I was hoping you were going to say John Wayne style with one lever action in each hand
Well, I've got to see. I've covered
on
all
the back of
bases
a
there.
horse.
I've covered all bases there, Hillbilly. I've got a AR in the 350 Legend, a lever gun with the 35 Remington, and a bolt gun with the Seiko 270. I
There you
absolutely love
go.
that gun, man. I do love that
No
Seiko
bet.
270.
Jamie,
If
we
you
still
can,
got to get out and get together and see how this 8 millimeter Mauser shoots.
they shoot great, Kyle. Absolutely, Walks. You think I'm kidding, but the biggest deer I ever killed was with that rifle and that cartridge.
Most deer
GGW
I've ever
Outdoors.
taken with a 35 Remington.
Okay, I'm going to leave the verse scrolling down there if anybody's got anything else to say about it.
That Marlin 35 Remington has put more meat on my table than any other firearm, including a 12 gauge, 20 gauge, 22. But that 35 Remington has put more meat on my table, and I'm a fan, which is why I stuck by Jamie step by step on his journey to develop that tack drive and load that he's got.
That thing thumps too, don't it, Gene? Let me look something up for KFW, and I'll be
Did I
right.
m- did I miss it? Did anybody put 300 Win Mag in the side chat, or anybody hunt with one of those?
No, I have one. I'm working on the rifle, and I'll hopefully I'll have a load worked up that I can shoot out when we go to Dead Zero next time.
Well, Jamie, if you need some brass for that, let me know.
I've loaded some up for a coworker of mine, but I don't have one. Which I mean, all he's doing with it is target shooting, anyways. It's a little overkill for North Georgia.
Yeah, it is for around here too, but he goes down in Arkansas and hunts with it.
I mean, Jamie, if you need some brass for that 300 Win Mag, I've got a couple of handfuls. You're more than welcome to them.
Well, you already gave me some, but yeah, Gene, I can always stand some more. And
I'll
let
get
me go find out something for KFW.
I'll get you some. I just got done sorting out 2 5-gallon buckets of it.
I thought you dealt in 55-gallon buckets.
Well, I do the fine hand sorting of all the rifle calibers. The machines can only do so much before you have to sit down at a table, dump it out, and go through it. And that's what I do.
That's
I enjoy it.
that's
I
one thing
watch.
I like to do. I'll put all of my range pickup from when me and my guys go shooting. I'll put all of it in a 5-gallon Home Depot bucket, and then I'll come home, turn a movie on, and then I'll just sit there with different Folgers cans and sort it all.
Oh no! See,
It's relaxing.
I'm dipping out of 55-gallon drums and into 5-gallon buckets and taking it over to a table and dumping those out, and then sorting that out into other 5-gallon buckets.
Oh, I got you. I got
So yeah, I'm doing the same base you are, but just make those buckets into barrels.
you. I've got I got two Folgers coffee cans sitting over here right now. Um, I wrote something on them with a Sharpie, but that's not what's in it. It's not brass; it's bullets. And I gotta box up a package to send to my buddy Rob over in Las Vegas. He's just getting into reloading, and I said, "Well, I'll give you a starter pack."
By the way, Kyle, I never heard from him.
Oh, Rob didn't call you?
Nope, never heard anything.
Huh. Well, he might not be loading yet.
I want to share something. I already told the panel in the back chat. I want to let everybody know in the side chat that Republic Ammunition is now sponsoring my shooting and a lot of my ammo, all my components for the ammunition, primers, projectiles, brass, nickel. So
That's
if you
awesome.
if you need
Hey,
anything,
you can't go wrong with that.
no, not at all, not at all. So now my channel is powered by Republic Ammunition.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. He let me know today that he was going to start sponsoring my shooting and hooking me up with components. So I just thought that was really, really nice of him. So if anybody needs anything, if you go on the website and you don't see it, call and ask. We might have it, and just not have it on the site. Can't list everything we've got. It's so much work.
Yeah,
to
like
do
730
that.
waters.
Let me ask you something, Gene. Um, what are y'all getting for a brick of 1,000 primers?
I got CCIs right now, 65.
Okay, yeah.
Small pistol. Large pistol are still running about 10 cents a piece. That's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah, it is what it is. Rob,
They're hard to get, and the wholesale cost on them is high.
Rob called me the other day, and he said he wanted to know if there was a sportsman's warehouse around here. I said I think there's one up in Chattanooga, Tennessee, but I don't think there's one less than 50 miles from me. He said I just found them for $52 a brick, and it was either large or small pistol. I can't remember. I said, hell, it ain't worth the gas to go up there. And so I was just wondering if any of y'all are around a sportsman's warehouse. They got primers in stock, and it's not a bad price. It ain't what it used to be, but it ain't $100 a brick.
Well, the nice thing is, when we do a meetup or something, if anybody needs anything, I can bring it with me, and we just do cash and carry. I mean, since I'm coming anyways, ain't gonna be no tax, no shipping, no hazmat. And if you're around my area, man, you can come on in and cash and carry anything you want.
Yeah, I had to educate Rob on hazmat fees. He's like, I'm just going to order it. He said, "There's a sportsman warehouse across the valley over here, and I'm just going to order it." I said, "It's going to cost you about $45 to have that shit sent to you." He goes, "What?" I said, "It's called the hazmat fee, hazardous materials."
Yeah,
Hey,
well,
Gene.
a lot of these companies. See, my boss charges what he's charged, and it goes by the volume that you ship. So
Right.
the hazmat fee for these big companies like Brownells, and it's five to $8 per package, but you're paying them 18 to 25.
Uh-huh.
Ah, here's the game. That's how they make extra money on your shipping.
Well,
So
here's
all these places are banking on that because high volume, like our hazmat fee, I think is $17 or $18. That's exactly what it costs for us to do it because we're not that big of a high volume shipper. I mean, we send a lot of stuff out, but not like Brownells. Not like these other big companies.
right.
And the more you ship, the least the price goes down, man.
We
CW and Jamie.
me and my shooting buddies, we try to stay up online and uh every now and then, like Midway USA, excuse me, had had their primers on sale with free shipping and no hazmat. And I think between three of us went in, I think we got 60,000 primers and some gunpowder and stuff. And they showed up with a truck at my house wanting to know if I had a forklift. I'm like, what the heck makes you think I got a forklift at my house? So we had to hand unload everything off these pallets. But yeah, we saved a bunch of money. Every now and then you come across a deal, you just got to jump on it.
Hey, CW.
Yes, sir.
There was a question a little while back when Jamie was looking up stuff for KFW. Bama Dad said he got a mold a few weeks back, TL356124-2R, and is it going to be okay for practice ammo for his Glock pistols?
Glock doesn't recommend their barrels with lead. So I'm not going to advise you one way or the other, but that's what Glock says.
That's kind of what I was thinking, but I didn't want to.
I believe the Gen 5s might be different. I think they changed their rifling. I don't know 100% if they lifted their lead ban, lead restriction, lead recommendation or not. But that's what Glock has always said. They don't recommend lead in their barrels. It's a polygonal rifling, and they don't recommend it.
That's why I put aftermarket barrels with standard rifling in all of my Glocks, all out of the 4 or 5, whatever I've got, specifically because of that statement from Glock. Plus, I get better accuracy, I think, out of some of the aftermarket barrels.
They can be a little finicky.
Oh, Tommy just said Republic Ammunition. I didn't even know this because I don't run the daily operations. I'm the guy in the back sorting, and we talk all day long, but not about daily. But he's got hazmat right now for $9.99 at Republic Ammunition. Said he just got 5,000 primers.
I can't make my camera act right, y'all.
Okay, he said his is a Gen 5, and asked, but as long as it's powder coated, should it be good?
Technically, and don't take this to court, it should be. But like I said, they can be a little finicky.
I've always run powder coated through Glocks. I've never hesitated.
I mean, to each his own. That's what I'm saying. To each his own.
Yeah, and you didn't hear this from me, but
Exactly. That's the only thing I've ever shot through any of my Glocks. It was my hand cast powder coated lead bullets.
Steve says I look pink. I got to download a driver for this camera, man.
No, what you need is a light.
It's got a light in it.
Yeah, I turned it off. Let me turn it back on.
I'm messing with you, Jamie.
That's more better. I don't look quite as pink.
You look a lot whiter.
Yeah, mine's off. We have the same camera. Mine's off.
Yeah.
And you look fine up there, CW. You know, it's not glaring. I sometimes I got a light
Okay.
that's up here. That's probably too
Dang,
bright.
Walter. I'll turn the light back off.
I think I need to go read the verse down below again. Sorry, Jamie.
Who has a favorite caliber that they like to shoot, and what weight bullet and what powder do you use? And that's for the side chat and the panel.
Oh man,
Jamie, it's that red Georgia flag that's reflecting off and giving you that
Well, there's
reddish.
calibers,
I think I'd be.
cartridges. There's a differential there, Kyle. Caliber is a bore diameter. Cartridge would be a cartridge, an actual cartridge.
Yeah,
So
Well, what's your favorite,
which is
sir?
35.
mine changes every week. Every week with the Moldy Monday, mine changes.
Mine's 35.
Right now it's a Lee, 145 for the 40 Smith & Wesson 145 grain bullet that I did last week. That sucker shoots lights out with 6.4 grains power pistol, man, and that just became my favorite load for 40 Smith & Wesson. I'm
That
telling
was
you
a
what.
good shooter. I enjoyed that video. That was a good shooter.
But next week it might be something different.
But
Next
a
week it'll
little
be something with no me plat.
a little 90 grain 380 all the way up to a 310 grain 358 Norma Magnum.
Yeah.
For me.
So, Ashley, what I like to recommend for a lady that's getting into something, I would recommend a 38 special revolver.
I'd agree.
A Smith and Wesson, and if you can't afford that, get a Taurus or a Charter
Couple
Arm.
good Rugers out there.
Ruger
Yeah,
LCP,
that LCR is nice.
Yeah.
LCR, yeah.
Yeah. If you want a semi-auto, if you want to load a revolver, that's a Ruger, that SP 101 is not a bad revolver to go get. And for me, I agree with Jamie. 38 Special is a great round to start loading for. And if you can purchase a 357 Magnum revolver, that's probably going to be a little bit heavier frame than one made just for 38 Special. But you can shoot 38 Specials in that rascal all day long, and that little bit heavier mass in the frame will help you absorb a little bit more recoil too with your rounds. So that's my 2 cents worth.
We went and I bought Angel it's a Smith & Wesson airweight hammerless 38 special revolver, and we went and shot that thing, and I liked it so much I bought one. So I highly recommend that. I mean, if you want 357 mag, you're going to have to go somewhere else, but that Smith & Wesson airweight, I mean, it you can't even tell you're holding it.
Yeah, they are lightweight.
Yeah, it's an amazing lightweight gun.
Garage Guy's telling you good stuff there too, actually. And if you decide to go with a Taurus 856,
Good one.
they've got a new one out that's a 3-inch barrel, and I absolutely love the looks of that gun. The balance has got to be incredible. To me, for carry, 3-inch barrel is ideal. It gives you a little more accuracy and still easy enough to conceal.
So I want to say this. So she said for a short woman, and you guys are suggesting 357 shorts, 38 special.
Hillbilly.
Yeah, but you've got to put 357s in them. You can
Yeah.
later if you want.
Hillbilly, if you have to explain them, they're not that funny. Dude.
I realized. I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, you did 357 cartridge and 38 cartridge. I mean, I thought, yeah, 357 short would be a 38, but never mind.
What,
Yeah,
what's a
I
quarter
bought that.
inch?
we got it.
You know.
I bought that Taurus 605, the 357 in the 3-inch barrel, and I love it. I've been
Yeah.
carrying that now all summer, and I think I'm on about the 4th or 5th iteration of holster for it until I find the one that I really like. I think the next one's going to be it, but we'll always see.
Mark, I'm still waiting on you to give me a price for my 44 Ruger holster rig.
All right, I'll email you back. I've just
I
been
know
waiting to
that
make it.
you got other stuff going on and everything, but I'd rather give the money to you to somebody else.
Yep, I'll get with you.
And if you want something semi-automatic, those new Tauruses, those G3Cs are very popular.
Let me tell you, I did not know this, but Mossberg makes semi-automatic handguns,
They do.
and I've got one, and I've shot it, and I love it.
So, Walks, I got bad news for you, brother. Both of them are watching this chat.
Yeah.
May they never
Dang it,
meet.
man.
Okay, question for the side chat: do we keep the jeans jump and the verse of the week as regular segments? I think so.
Yes, sir.
It sounds pretty good. It really does.
Got my vote.
At least just a little a little segue, to break up what we're doing.
And it's definitely something we all need. At least
Yeah, I mean,
this guy
we
does.
can have like a 5-minute segment of jeans junk. We can have a 5-minute segment of the first of the week.
6-shooter Texan said yes to jeans jump. Jeans gump.
We might be stuck with Gene's junk. I'm sorry, Gene.
I don't know, man. I guess I'd be good for that. Gene,
I think we should do the Vile
It's got
verse after
it's got a
talking
certain
about
ring
Gene's
to
junk.
it, you know.
It does. Gene's junk.
We could see how Gene's junk could blend with the verse of the week, and just have Gene preach on
Oh, that might be a tough nut to crack right there.
Hallelujah, my brothers. Come on into the tent.
it.
Did you get the joke? All right.
I did
Yeah,
love
we
it.
did.
All right.
Okay. We probably should start going through the room so we can clear the deck
Oh,
for
boy.
Gizzard Gary. And I'm glad y'all like the Bible verse of the week, so we'll try to keep that in, and as well as Gene's hot gunk. There's G23 been out there all evening. I hope I got to say hey to him. There it is.
Well, who's gonna go first?
We'll let Walter go first.
Sure. I want to say that I don't know about the rest of you folks, but this chat tonight went flying by for me. This was a fast paced one, and I think that Bible verse helped out. A lot of folks found a way to connect with that. So that's another thing that can help tie us all together. Not like we're all connected already, but every strand on the rope makes the rope stronger. So I think that's a good idea, and I want to see it continue. I had a good time here tonight. All of you, appreciate, as always, the invitation to come and be part of this great group. I so appreciate, getting to interact with the folks over here on the side chat and see some, many of you guys over there are subscribers to my own channels. And I appreciate all of you being here and supporting us here on this show. As far as what's going on at the Viejo bench, I had a couple videos out this week. We'll do another Moldy Monday in a couple of days here. And then my gun club's pistol range better open back up. They've been shut down for 2 weeks for repairs. And I had a couple of Moldy Monday videos stocked up, ready to go with all the shooting and casting and everything done, but I'm going to be fresh out after this Monday. So I don't know what we'll do after that, casting with no shooting or something. I don't know, figure something out. But anyway, happy to be here. Happy to see everybody over there in the side chat. We had a good night tonight, and that's what's going on here with the Viejo. So how about you, sir, Mr. American Hillbilly?
Well, thanks a lot, Walter. Oh man, what a blast tonight! I've had so much fun. I love it. Great side chat tonight. This was awesome. I really enjoyed the show, guys. I, honestly had a great time. Looking forward to next Friday night. What I got going on tomorrow night? We have guns, beer, and therapy. 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. Right here on Hillbilly Up channel, my channel, and we just try to have some fun over there and have a good time. So if you get a chance, jump in and say howdy. Got videos coming out this week. Got an unboxing video from Michael Dunn. I got I think a lever gun video that I think is another one I'm going to be releasing this week. So 22 mag on that, Jamie. Lever action 22 mag Marlin. So
Very nice.
yeah. So anyway, I just want to thank you guys. Go check out all these guys' channels. And there's lots of people in the side chat that have awesome channels. So check out their channels too. And anyway, hope to see you guys tomorrow night and then next Friday night.
Thanks for being here, buddy.
Thank you.
Chad, if you get in touch with me, if you want to come on the panel one Friday night, we'd love to have you, buddy. I'll give you my email. Of course, you can always email us at georgiashootingconnection@gmail.com. But you got to spell it all out. Mark Thomas, what are you going to do this coming week?
Well, I gotta make at least one range trip, that's for sure. Before that, though, hey, thanks for the invitation. As always, it's wonderful to be here. Thanks to everybody out there in the side chat, chiming in, giving us things to talk about, just being part of the banter. Yeah, I am going to have to try to get to the range at least once with that new 410 45 and see what it'll do. I got some bullets cast up last Sunday from that last Scotsman mold that I was working with, and I got those powder coated, so I want to load up at least a half dozen of each of those, the 3 from him, and try those against what I've already got. Walter was nice enough to send me a care package that I got yesterday. Thank you, Walter. And if I get a chance to cast some of those, I'll be looking at some new bullets for 45 ACP. And that'll be more than enough to keep me busy. I still have a few leather projects to work on to finish up. I just got a few sent out, so hopefully there'll be some happy recipients on those. And that's where I'm at. Thanks again.
Well, thanks for being here. And we'll be looking forward to some of those range videos. Mr. Gene, you going to do anything this week?
Let's see. I'm gonna do some reloading tomorrow, and I've got a USPSA shoot Sunday. First time using the 10 millimeter. Best millimeter is 10 millimeter. But hey, thanks for having me on, Jamie. I really want to thank the panel and the side chat for being so receptive to the weekly bursts. Number one, the weekly bursts, and receptive to The new jeans junk corner, I guess. I appreciate everybody out there. Thanks for joining us tonight. Everybody have a blessed weekend.
Thanks for being here, buddy. We appreciate you. Mr. Kyle, you want to do anything this week?
Yeah, I am. Hang on, let me turn my camera on. There we go. I cast up a bunch of bullets for my buddy Rob out in Vegas. He's getting into reloading, and I'm gonna send him a care package out there. There may or may not be a couple of extra things in there. Again, I want to thank everybody in the side chat. What an amazing crowd that we had tonight. And everybody on the panel, take a bow. Oh man, it was great. And Walter, you said it best. We wouldn't be here without everybody that participates, because let's face it, what would be the point? So we enjoy this every Friday night, and we hope to see y'all every Friday night, and we thank y'all for showing up. And with that, I'm signing off.
Thanks, Kyle. CW.
Thanks, Kyle. Thanks, Gene. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Hillbilly, and thanks, VAO. Another good chat. We had, I think I saw 60 or 59 there in the chat, which is awesome. Really appreciate that. Lots of great contributions and lots of great talking, and it's really fun. You guys get talking amongst yourselves over there, and it's sometimes it's hard to follow. But you get firing off those comments, and it's hard for us to get stuff up on the screen here. Maybe we'll scroll back to find it. And, it was a good time. So I will have a video tomorrow morning. It's already loaded and sitting up there. It's just waiting for its cue. I got a small box in from Trees A Blowing, which was appreciated. And I've got a couple of things cooking. Don't know when, but if I have the opportunities in the evenings to get down into my room there, I will have a couple of new things to comment about. I got in a new powder coat color. I've been looking for a black for a long time, and I tried a new black color I found. And I've got a mold that I've been looking for a long time that I picked up off of Cast Bullets for a very, very cheap price, which I was really happy about. So that's coming in. I'm going to have some new bench editions coming in, so that'll be pretty cool. And I'll have videos on those as soon as I'm able.
I want to see the video on that black powder coat, sir.
Oh yeah, I'll have something. As long as I'll do it either way, just so that you know it's a stinker or it's a good one. But it's Eastwood, so I have high hopes. I really like a black, matte black, satin black. I like the idea of a nice bowl like that, and I can do it with a couple of colors that I've had for a while, but it takes two coats to get nice, and I'm hoping this one does it in one. So we'll see. Jamie?
I'm glad you got to join us tonight. You're in my prayers and you have my heart, brother. And,
it was kind of sketchy there, but it worked out. So
good deal. And I appreciate all the viewers coming in to join us. We had 56, 58 at times tonight. And good to see Ashley and Miss Hotshot. Y'all tell all your friends to come join us too. The ladies really pretty this crowd up because we need all the help we can get. We're all old and crutchety.
Yes, sir.
And I'm glad that Glad y'all enjoyed the Bible verse and Gene's jump, and we're going. That didn't sound good.
That did not sound good at all.
Sure it did. Just go with it. Just go with it. Just roll.
We'll find a name for that little segment before next week, guys. Y'all know who all's on when, where, and what time, and so I'm not going to call everybody out by name. And Gizzard Gary is starting right now, so we'll leave you with. We hope the Lord blesses you all real good, and if He's willing, we'll see you next Friday night at 8 o'clock. Say good night, y'all.
God bless everyone.
Good night,
Night,
everybody.
y'all.